plaintiff, Delora Lloyd, says she met the defendant on a dating website. And a month later, she and her kids moved in with Delora. Delora claims one night during an argument, the defendant assaulted her and her daughter and then threatened them. Delora is suing her ex for stolen property and emotional distress. Defendant Stephanie Latcham says Delora constantly abused her verbally and threatened her in front of her children. And on the night of the incident, Delora was the one who attacked her. Stephanie's countersuing for a security deposit and emotional distress.
Start with you.
Yeah, let me start off by saying I met Stephanie on a dating website back in October 2013. Things moved kind of fast because in November, I offered Stephanie and her kids to move in my home.
How many children?
2, her and her son and her daughter. She came down, she moved in. Everything was going well for the first 2 weeks, I say.
That's not true.
Ma'am, what do you want to tell me about this?
I moved down to Topeka, Kansas on October 1st. I was added to the lease on October 4th. We shared a home with both of our kids.
How long had you known her?
We met in early July, but we actually come from the same town, so we knew some of the same people.
Yeah, but when you met, you said early July?
Yeah, early July, yes.
Okay, go ahead.
We decided to go to the club one night. She picked up a couple of my friends from work, and she dropped them off at the club. I was at the house getting dressed, ready for her to come pick me up so we can go back to the club. Okay, had a couple of drinks there, but me and Stephanie was drinking prior to going out anyway, before we got to the club, because we didn't want to spend money on drinks at the club when we could just get a bottle and it'd be cheaper to feel good. So everything was going fine until we got to the gay bar. Straight bar was fine. Got to the gay bar. Miss Latcham asked me, did I want to dance? I told her I don't dance. She's more than welcome to go dance. She's been mingling around the club anyway. Hey, have fun. So I sat at the bar and chilled until I seen somebody I knew. Now, let me remind you, I've been up there months before Stephanie even moved down there, so I know people. So I go over there to talk to the girl. Miss Latcham just went berserk. She seen me over there with the girl. She went berserk. She got kicked out the club. She didn't even address me and the girl to see who she was, why I was talking to her, or nothing. She just assumed all of a sudden that I was trying to talk to this girl.
Why did she get kicked out of the club? What was she doing?
Because she was acting rude. I'm not just yelling to the point, oh, you cussing.
Did they kick you out of the club, man?
They asked me to leave, and I did leave. I went outside and was going to go home, and Delora called me and begged me to come pick her up.
Okay, let me allow her to continue, then I'll get back. Go ahead.
So she gets kicked out the club. I'm gathering my friends that we rode, that me, my friend, and his girlfriend rode with her. I seen that she got kicked out. I told the girl that I'll talk to her at another time. I gotta go because she's my ride. I gets outside, me and my friend, she's pulling off on us. So yeah, I called her, come back and get me. How I'm supposed to get home, you know? So she comes back, she was like, I gets in the car. She like, oh, you're a liar, you're a cheater. Okay, we're arguing back and forth. I'm trying to explain to Miss Latcham that this girl is just a friend. She reaches over and pops me. That's when I know, oh, you done had way too much to drink. So I go over there to talk to the girl. Miss Latcham just went berserk. She seen me over there with the girl. She went berserk. She got kicked out the club, cussing.
Did they kick you out of the club, man?
They asked me to leave, and I did leave.
Defendant Stephanie Latcham dated the plaintiff, and she claims the plaintiff verbally abused her and threatened her in front of her children.
So what happened after?
So she was driving at a fast speed at the same time, steady trying to swing on me while she's driving. So my friend in the back was like, can you please pull the car over and I will drive so you guys can
fight.
Do whatever y'all go do. and I just want to make it home safely. And I'm thinking to myself, I do too, you know? So I'm like, look, we'll just talk about it when we get home.
Okay.
So yeah, we got home. Miss Latcham gets out the car, I gets out the car. We're steady arguing. She comes around, she pushes me down in a puddle of water.
That is not true.
She pushes me down in a puddle of water. She was on top of me. We yelling and screaming. I'm like, get up off of me, B. I ain't gonna lie, I was cussing her out. So my daughter overheard the arguing. My daughter trying to break it up. Stephanie hits my daughter.
That's
I
not
said, oh,
true.
this ain't finna go down. So that's when I regained my strength, like, oh, you just hit my daughter? You messed up. So I got her up off of me. Okay, so we gets in the house. She running around the house all crazy. She pushes me on the bed. I grab her by her hair. We both fall to the ground. So she tried to choke me. And I think she was trying to poke my eyes out too, but somehow her fingers ended up in my mouth. And yes, Your Honor, I bit him.
Okay.
Get him out of there. My daughter called the police. She like, you call the police? She was like, I'll kill you little in your sleep. I said, oh.
Never say that.
I said,
Police came
I
and
done
what
had
happened?
enough. The police come. I'm explaining to the police what happened. He told me to sit down in the chair, let me go talk to Stephanie. He comes back out, I'm being apprehended. I'm getting arrested. I'm like, hold on. What is I'm being arrested for?
What was the end result of that arrest?
I went to jail.
All right, so part of your lawsuit, the emotional distress is for that part? You're saying malicious
That part,
prosecution?
and it's more parts. That's
Go
just
ahead.
the beginning.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I go to jail. My sister ended up picking my kids up because I told the police I'm not going to jail until I know my sister got my kids after this girl done already threatened to kill them in their sleep. They terrified. They're scared like never before. So my sister comes to get the kids. I go to jail. My ex bonded me out the next day. I get out around 8:30. We go to the house. I go there and I'm letting her know it's a Sunday. Tomorrow I'm leaving, but tomorrow I'm going to get the papers to serve you your 30 days so you can go. So I'm at the house, I'm like, I'm finna have errands open up at 10. I said, I'm gonna have them come and get my furniture and stuff, because I don't want it there.
What ended up happening, ma'am? Did she steal your furniture?
Yeah, well,
You
she
suing
stole
her?
the TV, and she stole my kids' clothes, and a couple of...
How did she take them?
How did she, what
Yes.
did you haul? Yes.
And she took some things of her own?
Yeah, she took some things of her own.
All
She
right,
took
in
her stuff
addition-
and my kids' stuff and my
Good
TV.
enough. Ma'am, let me hear your side.
Things from day one went sour. Delora likes to drink, and so she does a lot of drinking. There was a lot of fighting verbally between us in front of our children. Her belittling me, telling my kids, I'm gonna throw your mom on the street, but you can stay here. Her getting in my face with her kids, yelling at me, and me just walking away. So yes, we did go out November 2nd. Yes, I did get upset because Delora had moved down her ex-girlfriend that she had been with for 12 years down to Topeka as well, and was continuing to have a relationship with her.
That's who she was speaking to in the bar?
I don't know who she was speaking to at the time at the
Then
bar.
why are you mentioning that then?
Right.
You were talking about what occurred in the bar.
I was jealous. And I was asked to
About
leave.
her
Talking to somebody else.
another woman.
Yes.
All right, gotcha. You got jealous because she was talking to another woman,
yes.
and you went off.
Right.
So you got put out the club, and then what?
We head back to the house, and when we get there, I told her I'm not going to fight in front of kids.
No,
so
did you punch her in the car?
No, I did not.
All right.
I
And
got witness statements.
when you got back, did you push her into the water?
No, she came behind me. We got out of the car. She came around the car. She came behind me, pulled me back into a puddle that was in our parking lot. I got
So
away.
she waited until you got home to attack you?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't she attack you in the car, you think?
She was yelling at me, calling me a bee, calling me a slut, telling me I should never take you down here. You're a mistake. You're leaving my house.
Okay.
And so I just wanted to get home. We're both intoxicated.
I gets in the car. She like, oh, you're a liar, you're a cheater. Okay, we're arguing back and forth. I'm trying to explain to Miss Latcham that this girl is just a friend. She reaches over and pops me. That's when I know, oh, you done had way too much to drink.
Defendant Stephanie Latcham dated the plaintiff, and she claims the plaintiff verbally abused her and threatened her in front of her children.
So you get out of the car, and what happens
She
again?
comes behind me, pulls me down. We tussle in the puddle. I get up, run inside the house. She follows me into the bedroom. At that time, we're fighting. She's telling her kids, get her, get her. Her 14-year-old comes, kicks me in my stomach, goes and gets a knife. And my 10-year-old, I hear my 10-year-old saying, please don't stab my mom. Cops are called.
Who calls them?
My daughter, after she threatened my daughters to kill them in their sleep.
Did you threaten to kill
No,
her?
sir, I would never say that to anybody's kid.
Oh,
When the police came, they asked, what happened. We both told our sides of the story. We're in the kitchen. She is screaming, being belligerent. He says, do you have somewhere to go? I said, actually, I have no family here, but she has a sister that lives in town. So he requested that she would leave the residence. and go stay at her sister's until things died down. She refused.
In handcuffs?
She was not.
Quiet, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
So because she was not listening to the officer, he said, that's it, I've had enough. They take her in jail. At about 8:30 in the morning, she comes in, busting through the house because she has a key, with her ex-girlfriend.
How did I bust in if I have a key?
Quiet, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
With her ex-girlfriend. Me and my 10-year-old sleeping in the bed. She goes and pulls the bed sheets, wakes me up, and starts calling me, be this, be that. Her girlfriend starts taking pictures, and she's encouraging me to take pictures of the whole house. She actually had me down and got contusions, and there was blood on the wall. I had to call the police again.
Did they come?
Yes.
And they arrested her?
They told her that she needed to leave. There was no reason for her to
They
be there.
didn't arrest her?
No. They came, didn't do anything. She comes back at 12:30 that day. I called and I said, you have to stop her. She's terrorizing me. I need to get my children out of here. I can't even leave town because she keeps coming by. And so that's when they said, and he agreed. He said, we should have pressed charges at 8:30 when this happened. Okay. And they went ahead, and that's when she got arrested the second time for the domestic and for child endangerment. And
what was the result of that?
She actually, the county decided to press charges against her.
I know, was she convicted?
We actually have not gone. It's still on hold right now.
Let me see your report.
Sure. This will be the first one.
All right, ma'am, you have pending charges for assaulting her?
No.
They did subpoena me, and at the time, I'm working full-time. I'm already back in Iowa with my kids. I'm a single parent. I said, really, I just want to be done with this. I want this to be away from my life. I'm trying to move on with my kids. And they said, well, if she continues to contact you or harass you, you have up to 5 years to reopen it.
So they're not pending?
No.
They were dismissed?
By me, yes.
Let's get to the property. Did you take extra property that wasn't yours?
No. All I came down with stuff in my U-Hauls, all I took.
And your emotional distress is because what?
Because she fabricated a story later on that day to get me arrested so that she can take my stuff and leave town. First of all, okay, let me get back to the point, to the 8:30 thing. Her and Shannon, I asked Shannon to take pictures of my furniture.
I didn't think you need to, we're not gonna deal with that anymore.
All right.
We've already established that yes, she called the police, you were arrested, that she filed charges, and now she says she dropped those charges. We're done there. What else did she do to you?
She fabricated the story to where my kids got taken. They arrested my kids. They was apprehended for 3 days. I didn't know where they were.
You have something to prove that?
Yes.
And what happened after that? When they took your children, they usually have an investigation.
That's what I'm saying.
And what happened?
They investigated my kids, I guess, for the 3 days that they were gone.
And what happened? What did they conclude?
They concluded that. They sent me, after that, I went and met with the people, the KV.
Conducted an investigation. The facts and circumstances do not provide clear and convincing evidence. The allegation has been unsubstantiated.
Yep. And if you read this statement, that Ms. Latcham had presented to me at my job for the order protection from Rock Island, Illinois, which she do not live, so I don't even see why she went there to file it. You will see how the lights add up.
Defendant Stephanie Latcham dated the plaintiff, and she claims the plaintiff verbally abused her and threatened her in front of her children.
The counterclaim, ma'am, for security deposit and emotional distress, how does she owe you for the security deposit?
I paid $250. The deposit was $500 to move on in with her.
All right. We do know that the police believe that she assaulted you, and she was charged. The only reason you say she was not convicted is because you did not pursue it, and that happens frequently, particularly in domestic disputes. That didn't mean that you didn't do it. That just means that your lover decided she didn't want to prosecute. Your children were taken pursuant to these charges. You were charged. So I'm going to send you all back and allow you all to live your lives separately. Nobody's getting anything.
What about my property? My TV, my kids' clothes?
She said you owe her for a security deposit. Did you take the property?
No.
Do you owe her for security deposit?
No.
Now, how am I going to know who's telling the truth? Both your claims are dismissed. Have a good day.
I'm just glad to be done. I'm ready to move on with me and my kids.